Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie if you are new here. Sorry about the weird car video, but I really wanted to tell you guys about some of the items that I'm planning to repurchase for baby number 2, some of the things I'm planning to reuse that we still have. But I was trying to film at home, and between our heat kicking in every 2 minutes, Benjamin talking very loud on his calls, and my daughter being home running around with her grandma, I literally couldn't film anything. So you're gonna have my little steering wheel in here. Hopefully you guys don't mind. I'm sorry. I wish this was a more aesthetic thing, but I am a mom and I'm trying to film, and I just don't have the space or the time or the quiet, apparently. Today I'm gonna take you through some of the things that I am planning to repurchase with baby number 2, or I already have repurchased, or things I'm planning to just reuse. I always thought these were interesting. I'm just pulling up my notes to watch, especially as a first-time mom, because I feel like first-time moms, I was one of these first-time moms, we just buy so much crap that we don't actually end up using or don't need or don't know what to do. So I'm just gonna tell you the things that were really helpful for me. I have on here what I'm repurchasing for baby number 2, a few new items that are technically things that we already have, but I want to repurchase a better option or something like that. Things we have that we'll be reusing. I will be having a video go up, I think next weekend, talking about the things I won't be doing for baby number 2. So some of that stuff will be purchased items, and some of it will be just things that as a second-time mom, I won't be doing this time around. So let's talk about the things I'm repurchasing, reusing with baby number 2. Things I'm repurchasing. I will also have all this stuff linked down below if you're interested. So, silverettes, because I threw mine out. I don't know why I threw them out. I'm pretty sure that they were fine. I'm an avid thrower-outer. I'm the opposite of a hoarder. I throw stuff out that I shouldn't be throwing out. I'm a little annoyed that I threw mine out. They weren't the Silverettes brand, they were a different one. But I did repurchase these already. They were super helpful. If you're breastfeeding or pumping, highly recommend. I used the Silverettes more than I used nipple balm. So really like that stuff. But speaking of that, nipple butter, I did reorder Earth Mama's nipple butter, because especially the first couple weeks, they're just really sore, or sometimes you don't want to put the Silverettes in because they leave a weird little mark on your shirt, things like that. So I did repurchase that as well. I love that stuff. Snuggle Me, another thing. I threw out, no, I actually gave our other Snuggle Me away because I didn't realize, again, first time mom problems, that you should really buy a cover with your Snuggle Me. So I had bought this beautiful green Snuggle Me, and I was like, why would I buy a cover for it? Because I don't want to cover that. You buy the cover because your baby spits up and pees and pukes all over the place in those things. You can't wash them. So you can wash a cover. So I did repurchase one of those. I actually got it off Facebook Marketplace, which is not normally my vibe with that kind of stuff, but I got it because it hadn't been used. And then I did buy a cover this time. Another thing I'm repurchasing and reusing are my Dr. Brown's glass bottles and nipples. We prefer using glass. So I do still have a few glass ones, but I wanted to get some smaller glass ones. I think we broke 1 or 2 last time. So I got 2 more of those, and then you do need to repurchase the nipples, because they need to be repurchased every now and then anyway, so I did repurchase some of those. Another thing we're planning to use for baby number 2 is the Kendamil organic formula again. We might look into other formulas. I know there's better options now. At the time, the Kendamil was the only thing that was organic that we could find easily. I am going to try to pump again this time, but I'm not gonna depend on my body. If I can't produce the amount that I need to produce, I'm not gonna be worried about it, and we're gonna use Kendamil. Ivy was totally fine on that formula. She loved it. And she's the smartest kid I know. So I'm not worried about it. Another thing, Perry bottles. I know they give you the little squeezy bottles in the hospital. They're trash, in my opinion. The Perry bottle from Freedom Mom, the pink one, it's so worth it, especially having a C-section. I couldn't bend, and you still bleed a lot. I bled a lot. And it's just nice to just squeeze it, and it clears everything, and it feels so good to feel clean. I really struggled with how much I bled postpartum. It was just very triggering to me. I felt really gross. I felt really I just didn't feel good. So being able to wash myself or rinse myself quite often just made me feel really good about myself, and I just think that the Perry bottle is worth the like $12 that it is. Another thing we're planning to repurchase are Honest baby diapers and wipes. We had a good experience with them. Ivy's still currently in them. Ben would really like to try cloth diapers, but I told him, first of all, that would be your job then. I am not going to do that. And second of all, I'm not doing that in the newborn stage. Like, I'm not doing that. But maybe around like 6 months or so, if he still wants to do that, he can take over that process. I will not be, but he does want to try that at some point. But until then, we're gonna use the Honest diapers and wipes again. Another thing that we probably will repurchase at some point is some sort of sleep sack. I do like Kite Baby sleep sacks. I think that they're really soft, really nice. Ivy's worn them like since she basically was out of like a swaddled sleep sack. However, I literally have to pause every time a car goes by. I don't like how easily they pill, and I think it's just because it's like bamboo fabric, but honestly, none of ours except for one is still nice enough that I would even keep it for baby number 2. Like, I'm fine with like baby re-wearing Ivy's clothes. I'm not gonna give it something that's like literally trash at this point. And it just kind of sucks for like how much they are, that it's not something I can reuse. So if you guys know of any like sleep sack type things that are really soft like the Kite Baby ones are, but maybe not as expensive, or they just last a little bit longer, let me know. But we probably will repurchase some sort of sleep sack. That's been really helpful for Ivy, again, once she was out of like being swaddled and stuff. The next thing I repurchased already is the Sophie giraffe. I think I'm putting pictures up in editing. That's why I keep going like this. Ivy loved hers. We did end up throwing hers out because we lived in a moldy house, and where the mold was concentrated the most was near one of her play areas where that thing was like all the time. So we did end up throwing hers out, which is fine because I wouldn't have given it to a new baby anyway. It can have its own Sophie giraffe, but she loved that. Yeah, she didn't use it when she was like a newborn, but I did buy it already just because I know that we'll use it. And she like carried it around and hugged it and like gnawed on it and stuff. So I really do like that. Another thing are bibs and Frigs passies. Ivy preferred Frigs, but she would use bibs. I've already bought some bibs. We might buy Frigs. These are very hard to say. Before baby comes, we'll see. I also bought Philips Advent ones because they're shaped a little bit differently, and I've heard people say that their kids like those. Pacifiers are just like something that, I don't know, is different for every baby. And then the next thing I'm gonna have to repurchase, because I thought I had it, but I can't find it anywhere, so hopefully I do, is an abdominal band. I know sometimes the hospital will give you one. They did not in my last pregnancy, so I don't know if this place will. I could probably ask my doctor. I am having a scheduled C-section. The abdominal band, it's not about like losing weight or anything like that. It literally just makes you feel like your insides are staying inside your body, because everything feels kind of like loosey-goosey and weird after you have a baby. And B, a C-section is an abdominal surgery. They cut through like 7 layers of your body. It is not comfortable. It is not something that people like. I'm electively choosing, yes, to have a C-section based on prior history. It's not the easy way out. They're freaking hard. Like, they're hard to recover from, and the belly band just kind of helps keep everything in place. It adds a little bit of like a protective layer to that stuff. So I think that it's totally worth it. I wish I could just find mine. Maybe I can find it, I don't know, but I don't know where it is right now. Things that we have that we'll be reusing this pregnancy that I didn't have to like repurchase is our swing. I think it's a mom cozy swing. I don't remember exactly, but I can link it or show it to you guys. We have like an older version. We got it from Facebook Marketplace. Ivy loved it. I know kids are like yes or no about swings. Ivy loved it. So, and we didn't get one for Ivy until she was like 3 months old, I think. And she really liked it for a really long time. So we're just gonna reuse this one that we have for baby 2. We'll also be using our bottle warmer and our bottle sanitizer because we already have them. They work perfectly fine. It's not one of those fancy schmancy sanitizers that like also washes it. Like, it's just a sanitizer, it's just a bottle warmer, but they worked perfectly fine for us. There's no use in like repurchasing something else. We also are gonna reuse our Halo Swaddle. So fun fact, our Halo Swaddle lasted longer than any of our Kite Baby sleep sacks. And Ivy really liked that. she was hard to swaddle because she was so big. Like, she was almost 10 pounds when she was born, and she would like literally break out of the swaddles. So having the Halo one that like has straps attached and you don't have to like try to swaddle them with the blanket. I will also be using my old pump. I need to buy some new like flanges or whatever they're called for it, because you do need to replace that, but I am in like the cords, but I am planning to use the pump that I had. And then another thing, Ivy's clothing. First of all, we don't know the gender again of this baby, sex of this baby. We have plenty of clothes. We have too many clothes, to be honest. The baby never even wore half the clothes. The only difference is that we lived in Raleigh when we had Ivy. She was born in December though, so it was still cold. Are having this baby in Illinois, which it's much colder here, much different weather. So we'll see, but we have plenty of clothes. We can bundle the baby up differently. We might have to buy like a couple of really warm things, but a couple people have already given us stuff that they had. So I'm not really worried about it. Baby can wear the clothes that are still looking good. Obviously, if it ends up being a boy, I'm not gonna put it in like a frilly dress. But I don't even think that I have any frilly dresses until Ivy was like 6 months old, because most of the clothes that I got for her, we got before we knew her sex, because we found out at birth. It was like gender neutral stuff anyway. Please don't buy me clothes. If you're watching this, please don't buy me clothes. Please don't buy me baby blankets. I don't want any of that stuff. It's just gonna go to Goodwill. Please don't buy me any of that. Okay, and then a couple of things that I'm repurchasing that are new. So I'm repurchasing in the sense that I'm not buying what I bought last time. This will make sense in a minute. One being the portable pump that I just told you about. I did get it through insurance. If you didn't know, you can do that. Try to at least get a discount through your insurance. I used Aeroflow, A-E-R-O Flow, and they took care of everything for me. And this time I did it through my baby list registry, and they took care of everything. I had to have the doctor sign something, but otherwise they contacted the insurance company, did all that stuff. I didn't have to do any of it. The next thing is I did buy a new bassinet. I bought a Baby Delight bassinet. The bassinet we got last time, I tried to pick like one of the cheapest ones, and it was cheap. It was cheap, and it was not good quality, and I did not feel good with Ivy being in it. It was not safe. I mean, it was safe, but I just didn't like it. So I did buy a little bit nicer of one this time. I didn't go like ham and buy like a really expensive one. The only thing that we're a little bit nervous about is that we don't have space for a second crib in the house that we're currently renting. Hopefully this baby can be in the bassinet for a while, because I don't know what we're gonna do when we get to the crib point. We'll figure it out. Another new item is that we got a new bouncer. There was nothing wrong with our other bouncer. Ivy loved her bouncer. She was in it like all the time. She like pooped and puked in it like multiple times, and it ended up breaking at one point. We used it literally all the time. So I did ask for one for our baby shower, and that is actually one of the items that I got. I didn't get much off of my registry. I had to buy most of it myself, which is totally fine. We did get that, and I think that one might have also been, is that a Baby Delight too? It might have been. Another thing that I got that I'm repurchasing in the sense that we're getting a new carrier. I got a different brand. I got this Mabe, M-A-B-E brand. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I got that. So I really struggled with Ivy when she was little. Like, I was kind of afraid of the unstructured swaddles. Like, Ben likes the wrap, and I was just like afraid of it. So this one is a little bit more structured, but it's not as big as the other one that we have that's structured. This is probably not something that I needed to spend a bunch of money on, but it's literally the only like nice thing that I bought for the baby besides the bassinet. And then the other thing that I asked for on our baby list and we got was a new diaper pad, because ours is gross. I went with a super cheap one because it's a diaper pad. It's just gross. It's stained, all that kind of stuff. So I asked for like a nicer version one, because Ivy's still being changed and probably will be for a while yet. She's getting interested in potty training, but she's not quite there yet. And then this baby will be in it for a while. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just get like a nicer one that can be cleaned better than the like cheapy plastic one that we got. I did get one of those as well, just repurchased a different type of brand. That is it. Thank you for dealing with my like very chaotic stuff. Hopefully you guys still liked this video. I need to go home and hopefully not wake the baby up. Or the toddler. I guess she's a toddler now. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything that I'm missing on this list.